Today we're talking about the monarch of red grapes, Cabernet Sauvignon, whose birthday is just around the corner on the 30th of August.
Instead, I'd call it the most insidious of colonizers. Name a country and the chances are it is under its command. Partly because it tastes similar no matter where it goes, and partly because it is a hardy grape.
Indeed, it grows with relative ease in any nice, moderately warm place. It has thick skin, resistant to disease, modest yields, and easy ripening, and yields these lovely, luscious wines with medium acidity, tannins, and alcohol, all held together with blue and black fruits, plums, mint, game, meats, tobacco, leather, and so much more as it ages.
The Sauvignon Blanc term comes from sauvage, meaning wild, perhaps hinting at its origins. But it was only in 1997 that the world was shocked into realization that Cabernet Sauvignon was an accidental cross between Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc.
Well, what we do know that it truly became famous when Bordeaux started taking a liking to it. And that's where it was initially called Petit Vidur, which is perhaps from the hardness of its wood, which is Vin d'Or in French. And it worked for the type of soil and for the type of wines they wanted to make there. The weather suited it, and then the barrel aging added wonderful facets to this rough diamond. And the potential for it to age long term made it truly well placed to be a royal among grapes.
And from here, it spread to the rest of the world, creating new nomenclatures like Meritage in California, Cape Blends in South Africa, or Super Tuscans in Italy.
And then Stephen Spurrier's international tasting, which usurped Bordeaux and established the legitimacy of Californian cabs at the Judgment of Paris in 1976, which only furthered the reach of this grape. If you don't know about that, you need to go watch the movie Bottle Shock with Alan Rickman playing a better Stephen Spurrier than Stephen Spurrier.
Yeah, in India, we have a few contenders for world-class Cabernet Sauvignons. Charisma definitely comes to mind. So does Sula's Rasa Reserve Cabernet, Rivello's Reserve Range Cabernet as well. York's Aros and Grover's La Reserve and Vijay Amritraj have taken a blended template. And we must mention Bologna Vineyards not only for their Anokhi, but also their 10th anniversary special release, which was only a few bottles of varietal, well-aged Cabernet Sauvignon. And we were lucky enough to have our hands on one of those bottles.
Wow. But it's not all hunky-dory, okay? Many upcoming wine regions quickly plant Cabernet thinking it's the shortest route to gaining popularity, but they don't realize that in spite of being an easy grape to work with, it can still be a very finicky one in certain soils and climates.
Right, so not all Cabernets are great, which is why people don't like their first sip of Cabernet Sauvignon because it gets a strong note of capsicum and they might be put off by that. Now, bell peppers are a common note in most Bordeaux red varieties, but capsicum note, especially the boiled type, not very pleasant.
If you want to delve into this grape, you need to have a reliable producer from a reputed region. So what the regions you can look at, try Bordeaux, Napa, Cabernets from Tuscany in Italy, Coonawarra in Australia, Margaret River, Gimlet Gravels in New Zealand, Chile's Colchagua and Maipo Valley, or even South Africa's Stellenbosch and Paarl regions.
Wait a second, you have confused us now. Where would you pick your Cabernets from?
Okay, if I want minerality, I'd go for Bordeaux. If I want lush fruit, I'm thinking Australia, Chile. And if I'm trying to impress someone who's not a cab convinced drinker, Super Tuscans from Italy.
I would go for a well-aged Pauillac and definitely get the guts from Coonawarra. And when the pocket is light, I would look at Margaret River and that would do just fine.
All right, so those are all good choices and true to their expression of terroir, and that's what cabs do really well. They showcase their typicity, and maybe that's why this high demand allows them a high price tag as well.
Right, and it definitely has to do with the strong pillars on which it stands and ages really long. Acidity, alcohol, tannins, body, flavors. Cabernets can develop serious complex examples, be it the controversial 1787 Chateau Lafite or the James Bond's pick, Chateau Angelos, or the Super Tuscans like Sassicaia or Salaya, the Judgment of Paris winners, Stag's Leap, or the California's famed Streamy Eagle and Opus ones. The Aussies Penfolds Block 42 claims to have the world's oldest still producing Cabernet Sauvignon wines, which are a fabulous sight by themselves, or Chile's Errázuriz and Montes, and definitely South Africa's Thelema.
But you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to enjoy a good bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. But if you plan to do that, do invite us first.
Yeah, like the way I'll be inviting myself to your place on the 29th, not only to bring in the International Cabernet Sauvignon Day, but also to celebrate your birthday. And guess what show gift? One of my favorites, Penfolds.
All right, so that's happy birthday, Cabernet Sauvignon. Looking forward to this celebration of the birthday together. Thanks, Gagan.
Cheers.